you've studied for the past 2 years global history. Today is your day. And like the great George Shea once said, there is a time for pain and a time for punishment. There is a time for doubt and a time for dominance. There is a time for forbearance and a time for purity. But there is never, ever, a time for surrender. Today, you are the greatest students in the world. You may begin. Something like that. So, this is like the longest department meeting we've had in a long time, Mike. I would first like to thank the Long Island Council for the Social Studies for this amazing honor. Can you hear me? Thank you to Gloria Sesso, Doreen Gordon, Charlie Backfish, and all the other terrific people who make the LICSS go round. You provide a great service representing the needs of Long Island's social studies community and have literally saved social studies education in New York State. So thank you for that. There are so many outstanding social studies teachers on Long Island, as you've seen a few already today. So receiving this award is a tremendous honor. And to be honest, I didn't win this award alone, as you all know. I am fortunate, though, to work at Smithtown School District, led by our superintendent, Dr. James Grisani, and of course our principal at Smithtown High School West, who had to leave early, but Mr. Cody, they have the senior awards night tonight. Along with our Board of Education, our administrators, our staff throughout the district, they've really established a positive and supportive culture that stresses the students over tests. And I think that's extremely important, which allows us teachers to focus on the human side of education so that we can help students become responsible, productive, and well-rounded citizens and not just good test takers who forget the information the next day. And talk about supportive, I met Mr. Cody. I was just in a conversation with him one day. We were just talking about room design, and I just off the cuff said, yeah, you know, they have stand-up desks now that could be pretty cool. Like a week later, I get called down to the main office. I think I'm in trouble. And I'm like, why am I getting called down? And they're like, hey, take a look at this website. We have these things, these stand-up desks that you wanted. And I'm like, what? So yeah, I'll take 6 of them. Let's go. So before I know it, I got these 6 stand-up desks. So that's the kind of support we get. Although I think the other teachers say that's the only support that I get. I don't know if they get the same treatment or not. But thank you, John Cody, for all your support. I was fortunate in my career to work with 3 amazing, awesome social studies directors. First, Mr. Bob Storch gave me my first teaching job in 1998 at West Hempstead High School, and he showed me that teaching wasn't just a job, that it was a profession. And he would say little things like, this is not a ditto, this is a worksheet. I was like, yeah, that's good, I like that. And then of course there's Mr. Michael Cliston, who was crazy enough to hire me in Smithtown in 2001. And he encouraged me to think outside the box and continue to use my creativity to inspire student learning. And when you have Mike's support, he's the wind that just pushes the sails forward and lets you just go. And there's no better thing than that, so I thank you, Mike, for all those years of support. I don't think there was ever an idea that you actually rejected. I think every time I went up to you, you were like, that's wonderful, yeah, that's wonderful. Let's do that. So I appreciate that, Mike. And for the past 2 years, it's been an honor to work with Mr. Brian Frank, who has guided our department, through the rough seas of this new global regents. Captain, doing this thing there. He trusts us as professionals, though, and he gives us the freedom to try new strategies in the classroom, and I thank you for that support, Brian. Thank you. I've been teaching for over 22 years, and throughout this journey, I believe that I've learned more lessons than I've actually taught. I'm fortunate to work with amazing colleagues. Some of them are here tonight, and I appreciate that tremendously. They help me grow both as a teacher and as a person, and our social studies department is truly special. The level of collaboration, sharing, and support is really unparalleled, and I'm proud to walk the hallways with them and brave the classrooms with them every day, even when they're hot and muggy like today. I would especially like to thank Mrs. Christina Cohen, who could not make it this evening. She's the one who nominated me, but she's crazy enough to go to Kansas City to grade papers for a week, so I hope she's having fun. But I really appreciate her. Christina and I have collaborated on countless lessons and projects, and we hosted many workshops together. We've done LICSS conferences as well. And I'm just so proud and honored that she took the time out of her busy schedule to nominate me. So I really appreciate that. And her husband, Chauncey Cohn, was just here, but he had to leave. So I was going to joke with him that he had to sit here and brag about me for a half hour, but he escaped. So he doesn't have to brag about me anymore. But throughout my teaching career, my philosophy has always been to prove to students that learning can be fun and empowering. And currently, I've been co-teaching with Mrs. Katie Numair, my co-teacher, developing strategies to help our English language learners better understand world history, improve their English skills, and most importantly, feel as though they are part of our school family. So thank you, Katie, for all your hard work and dedication, and for playing along with all my crazy ideas. Katie and I will be presenting our co-teaching philosophy at the Long Island Council Social Studies Conference this October. We're excited to share all that we've learned for the past 3 years together. Finally, I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive family. Now, hopefully I can get through this part. My dad taught me work ethic. My amazing wife, Elizabeth, she said, "You'd be a great teacher." When I was in college and didn't know where I was going. My 3 daughters, Emily, Natalie, and Isabella, they put up with me at my late nights of grading, like lesson planning, crazy history videos that I make on vacation. Come on, kids, it's gonna be great. Just film me doing this. Countless lesson ideas that I use to experiment with them. Come try this PowerPoint, let me see if it works. So I appreciate that, guys. You've always been there for me and supported me. Overall, I think the key to teaching is student engagement, and I want students to experience history. I think we all do, to see it, feel it, touch it, anything to let them understand that history is truly alive. We want our students to symbolically drink what we call the awesome sauce. Drink it, jump in it, swim around in it. Awesome sauce. That's the thrill for learning something new that we used to have when we were 5 or 6 years old. You see these little guys running around. They're curious, right? They want to know things. There's a learning. There's a magical yearning to know stuff, ask questions, observe, create things, simply because they want to and think there's some value in it. Somehow, some students lose that magic. We want to get it back. As teachers, we face many obstacles and adversities. However, if we show the students our passion and love for education, they will notice. I have a broom in my classroom. And in between classes, I'll sweep up, because I don't think they should come into a dirty classroom. And one of my students, I didn't know he was watching me. He's watching me. I'm sweeping up, and he says, "Damn, Mr. Sill, you really love your job, don't you?" And I just looked at him and said, "It's not a job if you love what you do. So find your passion and pursue it." So thank you all for everyone in my career who's helped me along the way. It's a great honor. Thank you.